Actually, this is very good example because when we experience something like this, we usually suddenly become aware of impermanence. We suddenly become aware of what is really important in our lives. And uh, and and we don't need to wait for such a things to happen. We don't need to wait for some tragedy to happen or some great loss in our life in order to realize and to change the system of values which we have. We can do that without these things happening, and that is a great, how to say, advantage of practice. We can uh, by contemplating, our everyday life, we can actually change the way we relate to everything. Being aware of impermanence and then really paying attention to what is most important in our life, not neglecting that. Usually when we lose someone who is very dear to us, close to us, then we have regrets why we haven't spent more time with that person, why we haven't said everything we wanted to say to that person. But it's too late then. We can do that when these people are still alive and around us. So um, this simplicity has to be understood as also as a focusing on what is essential in our life, what is the most important in our life, and then taking care of those things. Relationships are definitely of great importance in our life. And very often, due to material things, we don't realize that, we don't see that, we ignore that. You can see, for example, when somebody dies in a family, that depending on what was the will of that person whom he has left, the majority of his wealth or whatever, the huge conflict starts to arise between the people who are closest, the children and the relatives and so on. And that is a tragedy in a sense, which could be prevented with our different attitude and respect for the person will in the end, and with a different relation to material things in general. It is the relationship between the brothers and sisters and relatives is much more important than material things, and who's getting what from someone who is gone. you know. But that's very often the case. I'm sure you experienced that, or you heard about people who have huge problems, disharmony arising on the basis of that.